Hello there. Welcome to the Youthful and Useful podcast by Leap Africa. I am Joy Igbinedion and I will be your host for today. Nigerian youths have in the past been described as lazy. However, they have proven that they are indeed industrious because despite the challenges that have plagued the nation, such as insecurity, economic instability, and incessant ASUU strikes, young people have found legitimate ways of thriving. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, embarked on a strike on the 14th of February 2022, and young Nigerians were left in despair, not knowing when schools would resume again. This strike lasted for 8 months. It was during this period that Leap Africa, with the assistance of our partners and funders, Ford Foundation and MacArthur Foundation, through one of the Nigeria Youth Futures Fund programs, the Youth Leadership Development Debate Competition, trained 108 students across 25 institutions in Nigeria for 2 months. The students were given a channel to research and argue different views on the prevailing situations in Nigeria, including the ASUU strike. The arguments were rich and compelling, a testament to the tenacity and brilliance of the Nigerian youth. Now, after a keenly contested finale at the Platform Nigeria on the 1st of October 2022, the team from Ahmadu Bello University emerged second place. On today's episode of the Youthful and Useful podcast, we'll be discussing the debate competition journey with the team from Ahmadu Bello University. Hello, Amina, Usman, and Sadia. It's really good to have you here.
Thank you very much. We are also glad to be here.
Thank you for having us today.
Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Youthful and Useful. Can you please introduce yourselves to our listeners?
Okay, thank you. My name is Amina Jafaru. I'm a writer and entrepreneur, and right now I'm a change maker. I am currently in my 3rd year of veterinary medicine, and I study at Ahmadu Bello University. Thank you.
My name is Usman Abubakar. I am studying medicine in Ahmadu Bello University area. I love to write and engage in intellectual conversations. I also like to explore various other aspects of human endeavor.
Hi, my name is Sadia Mukhtar. I am a student of Ahmadu Bello University. I am currently in my 3rd year studying biological science. And outside school, I am a writer as well as an advocate for the youth.
You know, listening to you introduce yourselves makes me a proud African. You're all students who are also involved in other extracurricular activities that make you well-rounded young people. Really lovely to meet you again, Amina, Usman, and Sadia. Now, in your own words, how would you describe the debate competition? Let's start with you, Sadia, and then we'll hear from Amina and Usman.
Okay, so for me, the NYFF WLD competition was an eye-opener more than anything else. First, it was an eye-opener to the current realities of my country. And secondly, it is an eye-opener to the capability I have and even the responsibility for changing these situations for the better.
For me, the competition was really demanding. It required myself and my team to push ourselves beyond what we thought was our limits. And most importantly, it taught us more about who we are, what we can do, and what we can achieve as a team and as an individual, and especially what we can do for Nigeria's growth.
Okay, the NYFF debate was really interesting. I think it was the best. I told everybody that I met that it was the best thing I've ever done with my time in my life. And it gave me this idea that to any subject, to any topic, there are various other sides to it. And if you're going to look from every side, you are going to find reasons, data, and arguments justifying that side. It was the most beautiful thing, it was the most interesting thing, and the most challenging thing as well.
Beautiful, interesting, challenging, and eye-opening are some of your descriptions that stood out to me. Now, I'm curious to know, what inspired you to send in an application for the competition?
I was invited to join the team created by Amina, by Sadia. At that point, I was actually looking for challenge, for something that is going to challenge me, for something that is going to take me out of my comfort zone, for something that is going to enable me grow. And that is my specific reason for going in. After going in, I realized that the debates, the whole platform was much more than that, all of that and even more.
Wow, Usman. It's interesting to hear that the competition exceeded your expectations. Now over to you, Amina. What inspired you to send in an application for the debate competition?
NYFF, while the competition came at a time where we were just out of school, we didn't really have anything doing, and I was on an ongoing debate in school. So when I saw the flyer, it just made me feel like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. This is going to be something big, and I'm sure it's going to hold a lot of opportunities for me. So I said, why not? Let's go. Let's do it.
Amazing. Let's hear from you, Sadia. What's your story?
Okay, so I still remember the day. It was June 30th. Amina reached out to me. She was like, hey, I have a proposal. Are you game? And I was like, okay, what is it? Tell me about it. And then she briefed me about the competition, sent me the flyer. I checked the website out, and I was like, okay, debate. So debate is something that the last time I actually debated was in secondary school, and since then I had not again. And then I was like, am I really up for this? Like, can I do this? But then I remember that at the beginning of this year, I told myself that I was going to say yes a lot more to opportunities that came to me. And I was like, what's the worst thing that could happen? We do not get the first prize, but even if that happened, then I would at least have come out with a lot of learning. And I was prompted to go for it.
Sadia with the details. Thank you all for sharing. I'll ask Amina this. What does it feel like to stand before an audience and debate?
First and foremost, I'm a very expressive person. And whenever I cannot express myself, I find it very difficult to sleep at night. So firstly, that is what motivates me to voice out my opinions. Secondly, being on the stage gives me strength. It gives me power. I feel like when I'm on that stage, I'm the most important person in the room, and I have to make sure what I'm going to say is going to be important and it's going to affect the lives of people who are listening to me. So even before the YLD, when we were having the school debates, it was very empowering for me as a person. The day the ASU strike was called for, our debate topic was actually that ASU strike is the only method that the universities can reach out to the government. So it was very difficult thing for me to debate because I was supporting the motion. But when I got on that stage, I told myself, you're going to go there and you're going to talk to these people. And because you believe what you have to say, you're going to make sure that they believe you and you're going to win this. And I did. And the strike was called for that day. But I was able to convince the people in that room that the strike was the only thing we needed, the only thing we had, the only tool that was going to work. So for me, debating is power. Debating is the ability to change the hearts of people for the better. Debating is the ability for you as an individual to trust yourself and believe in yourself, and equally make sure that people believe in themselves and believe in the power that they have.
That was powerful, Amina. The power of believing in yourself. Now, I have one more question for you, right? What was the process of the debate like for you from start to finish?
All right. So whenever I look back, I sit down and firstly, I have a great sense of gratitude to Allah because He made this really possible for us. We experienced a lot of difficulties, but we always overcame them with prayers and hard work. The journey was tasking. It was very, very demanding. We took our work very seriously from the start. There was no point where we underrated what Leap Africa wanted from us and what the world wanted from us. We made sure that even when we were going to do the entry video, we had someone with an actual camera, a photographer, video with. We wrote our scripts. We had a 10-day meeting where we aligned everything we had to do, all the processes we wanted to make sure we went by, everything we wanted to check. We had a checklist, we had tips, we consulted a lot of people, and yeah, it was helpful. It really helped that we were resilient. It really helped that we were dedicated, and yeah, it gave us a really high ground because whenever we wanted to debate, we'd always ask ourselves, before we go on stage, we look at our scripts, we criticize them, and then we're like, okay, is this enough for us to win? Is this what we need to win? Is this going to make us achieve the goal that we have in mind? And then we'll be like, okay, yes, it is. And every single time we won. So yeah, and we are really grateful for what we have achieved. And we're really grateful for the people that we are now. And we are so excited for what we have in store for our future. Thank you.
I'm excited too, and I'm sure our listeners are excited about your future also. Sadia, I'd like to hear how this experience has impacted your life. What has changed?
All right, thank you. So this experience for me, in one word, was transformative. It has transformed me as an individual, and also within, before I entered this debate, I had a goal also for this year to speak more in public. And this was also an opportunity for me to achieve that goal. So with regards to speaking in public, I knew that I had to use my voice for change. And in order to use my voice for change, I would have to speak about something that is relevant in today's society, in today's Nigeria, in today's world. And NYFF YLD Debates was just the right platform for that, because they provided us with topics that are relevant to the world today and to Nigeria today. For me, I believe that being in this debate helped me to see things from more than one perspective. Sometimes the perspectives are even more than two. There are more than two sides to the debate, but of course you have to stick to two sides during a debate because that's the norm. Also, I believe I grew more empathetic, because normally we all have our worldviews and biases, and we believe that, okay, this is the right thing to do and this is the only way to go about it. But by the structure of the debate, where we had to do research for both sides of the argument, we were forced to put ourselves in the shoes that we never even thought we could be in, and to see things from a different perspective than we're used to. And that helped me grow empathetic towards people that believed in those things and thought in that way, and were going through that experience from that angle.
Transformative. I really love how intentional you all are about your lives. Usman, the gentleman, let's hear from you. How has this experience impacted you?
For me, this debate has been life-changing, particularly when we got the chance to travel all the way to Lagos. We came into contact with staff from Lib Africa, and we saw how they behave with each other, how they behaved with us. Very cordial relationship. Respect was very strong, very powerful. The whole debate experience from the beginning to the end, it was definitely challenging. At every point, we said, how are we going to stand out? What are we going to do to make sure that we stand out? And it has actually made us come through, made the three of us to come closer and become even to be able to identify the strengths and weaknesses of members and augment those weaknesses and maintain those strengths.
Wonderful. Usman, I'm glad that you spoke to the relational aspect of the competition, practicing teamwork. I also liked that you touched on the challenges faced when conducting research in our climb. You know, as a leader of the team, Amina, how has this experience changed you?
Lip Africa made me realize how much of a purpose that I have as an individual. It also helped me understand that there is a path you need to follow when you want things to be done, and there's a direction to take. And as the leader of the team, the leadership courses opened my eyes to a lot of things I was blindsided to. It helped me notice some things that were going wrong in my team, some things that weren't working, some things that needed to be omitted, some places where we needed to put much more effort on. And I was grateful for these because it really impacted us, it really helped us. It really made us understand that individuality is just as important as teamwork. We need to always exercise the fact that we're individuals before we're anything else. And once you can work with people as individuals, then you can work with them as a group. And once we're able to accept ourselves for who we are and the people that we are, we'll be able to come together and work better as a team. So Leap Africa gave me a new definition to teamwork. It gave me a new definition to leadership. It helped me understand my roles as the leader. It helped me understand that I matter. My voice matters. What I do matters. What I say matters. And how I relate to people really matters on the long run.
Thank you, Amina. I like that you learned, unlearned, and relearned some things about leadership and teamwork. That is very impressive. Now, speaking about the relevance of your voice as a young person, now how would you describe the Nigeria of your dreams, the Nigeria you want? I'd like Sadia to speak to this.
Okay, so the Nigeria of my dreams, the Nigeria that I want, is very simple and maybe surprising to hear it. But it is a Nigeria where everyone acts from a place of compassion for others. I feel like once we have that, then everything else will fall into place, because a lot of people in Nigeria are educated. A lot of people are experts in their field, which if they could use well, could transform Nigeria for the better. But the problem is that a lot of people are not willing to do that because of selfishness and greed and what have you. But if everyone is to act from a place of compassion and care for other people in this country, I believe that Nigeria will be a much better place.
A Nigeria where Nigerians are compassionate to one another. I really like that, Sadia. Now, with your experience in the competition, what is your opinion about the possibility of young people having a voice in reshaping Nigeria?
Young people do have a voice in Nigeria. They do have so much to contribute. Leap Africa actually gave us a platform, and that's what we've done. We've used the platform for. So the youth actually need a platform.
I believe that we are the only ones that can transform this country for the better, because the people that are currently in political positions are people that have been in such positions for several decades. And it was during this time that things have become worse and worse and worse by the day. And until those people are changed for the younger people, I believe that these problems will only persist. So the young people are the ones responsible, and they are the only ones, from my belief, that truly will transform Nigeria for the better and into the Nigeria of our dreams.
Young people are responsible for the actualization of the new Nigeria. They need to amplify their voices and use the right channels and methods to air their opinions. Amazing. Amina, you believe that young people can do and should be doing more than they currently are. What are some of the things you think they can do better?
Yes, we've had a lot of controversial debate topics, and although Sadia towards the end already was beginning to refer to one of them, I think social media has been a very good tool and a testament for many youths. Social media has provided youths with the opportunity to say whatever they want to say, however they want to say, without restriction, without barrier. And although I cannot stand and say that every youth who has spoken about something for change on social media has done it with the right approach and the right tools, but I can say that once these youths put their heads together, once something was trending and it was a problem, they had rushed to it, they had liked, they had commented, and the nation had noticed that something was wrong. So, and then I remember just a few months ago, a petition was running on change.org, and the petition was for transforming the Kuje General Hospital. And it just needed a lot of people, individuals, to sign this petition. About a month later, I noticed another petition was up, and it was for ASU strike. And students were speaking. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of students were already signing this petition. So yes, I do believe that the youths are definitely needed for national development, but currently, right now, I think they are still doing it at a very minimal degree. It is one thing for you to know that you have freedom of speech and you should exercise it, but it is important that you know how to exercise your rights. These youths still need guidance. They still need to know that there is a path to follow when you want something to be achieved. You cannot act haphazardly. You cannot act without a plan. You cannot act without the proper you can't act without the proper direction. So yeah, I know that they can do so much, but currently I don't think they're they're doing as good as they can do. Yes, they can do. Not as good as they should, but as good as they can do. If anything, Leap Africa has taught me that change starts with you as a person. If something is happening and you find that you're not comfortable with the state of things, you want it to be different, and you go on social media and you're like, let's change this government, let's vote, kaza, you're telling people to vote, and then you don't have your PVC. But you're on social media and you're telling everybody, go and vote, we need to make change, we need people to do differently. But you don't even have your PVC. Or you're talking about climate and you're talking about a lot of waste in the community. But every time you're on public transport, you throw that wrapper of gum out of the car and you don't care where it goes to. Or you're preaching about how the next generation should do better, Generation Alpha is going to be scary. But you as Generation Z, you're not doing anything that is motivating this next generation. You're not doing anything that these people would look up to. So I think it is very important that we should practice what we preach. It is really important that we are active practitioners of whatever we preach. So before you go on social media, before you just want to voice your opinion, make sure that you're going to actively participate in making sure that you effect that change.
Fantastic. Change begins with you. Practice what you preach. I love it. Thank you, Amina. Sadia, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, thank you. So just like Amina said, practicing what we preach, it is not like young people are not aware of what needs to be done. It is just that they know what should be done, but they feel like it is not their responsibility. So that's the main problem with us, especially in Nigeria. We think it is upon the government to do everything, and we just have to shout it on Twitter and everything will be put into practice. But we are the ones responsible for the change that we want to see. Therefore, we have to, in every single aspect, in every single sector, that in any way that we could, so try to be involved in the solutions to the situations that are currently plaguing Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Sadia, Usman, and Amina. This has been a very engaging conversation. Now, do you have any final words for us?
Once again, I'd like to give my sincere gratitude to Allah and to Leap Africa, the team, to NYFF, to MacArthur Foundation, and to Flood Foundation. It has been a wonderful experience and we are sincerely grateful. I want everyone listening to know this. Change is coming for Nigeria, and change is coming through the young people. Myself, Sadia, and Usman, and the many young Nigerians like us can effect change, and we will. Thank you.
Finish by expressing my deep appreciation to Leap Africa for organizing this, for giving us the platform, and for NYFF and MacArthur and Ford Foundation. And we would like to express our deep sense of appreciation, and we would like to also assure the organizers and everyone that we are going to make sure that we use our voices for change, and we are going to develop ourselves fully. Thank you very much.
First of all, I would like to thank the organizers for organizing this debate as well as this podcast session. I am truly grateful. I am grateful to Leap Africa as well as the sponsors for giving us a platform to use our voices for change, as well as making us aware that we have a role to play and prepping us for that contribution to our country. Secondly, I also would like to just say again that we have a role to play. Young people are the essential ingredient to creating the Nigeria of our dreams. And there's this quote that has stayed with me for a while. It says, "If not me, who? And if not now, when?"
Amazing. If not me, who? If not now, when? Thank you, Sadia, for that quote. According to Usman, you all will use your voices for change. And in Amina's words, change is coming for Nigeria, and it is coming through young people. This has been very refreshing and encouraging. Thank you, Amina, Usman, and Sadia, for joining me today. This has been truly insightful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.
Dear listener, that was the team from the Ahmadu Bello University. Talented and industrious young Nigerians on the path to contributing positively to the actualization of the Nigeria of our dreams. Were you inspired by Sadia, Usman, and Amina? Are you a Nigerian student in any tertiary institution in Nigeria? Are you between the ages of 18 and 35? If your answers are all yes, then I have good news for you. Here's an opportunity for you to join 5,000 other tertiary institution students across Nigeria in developing your leadership skills and becoming an active citizen who contributes directly to community development. Now, you also stand a chance to participate in the debate competition. All you have to do is register for the Youth Leadership Development Program by visiting www.leapafrica.org/YLDP. Registration is free, and women and persons with disabilities are especially encouraged to apply. Hurry now as registration closes on February 17th, 2023. I'm sure you have been inspired by this podcast. Please remember to share with your friends and listen to other episodes you might have missed. You can always listen to the Youthful and Useful podcasts via Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, or anchor.fm/Leap Africa. And it is also available on the Leap Africa website at www.leapafrica.org. Once again, my name is Joy Igbinedion, and until I come your way next time, stay youthful and useful.